Chapter 31. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kaido, ugh, the magical live broadcast room reminds me of that day again. Pirate King Roger, just like yesterday, as if it was a dream. Pluto Rayleigh, yeah, Doflamingo, he, I'm curious about what treasures you're talking about, Katakuri, it's nothing more than devil fruits, treasures, gold, etc. Sand Crocodile, he, celestial dragons, world government, school trips. Interesting, it seems that this is an action specially planned by the world government, and the Navy headquarters was not aware of it at first. Ben Beckman, the world government has never done anything unnecessary. There is only one possibility that can make them come to the Valley of the Gods, Marco, plundering resources. No, if it is just simple plundering, the celestial dragons will not do it themselves, so. There is a presence in the Valley of the Gods that the world government is afraid of, Ben Beckman, not just fear, accurate there should be a reason to have to be eliminated. Moonlight Molia, he God's Valley sinks into the bottom of the sea, wiped out by the world government from history, and the world government can make this kind of move. It may be that they have suffered a shame that they must not be disclosed, or they have made the heights that will make the world protest. It's just a stupid pig. If it wasn't for Garp and Roger, it would have been sinking into the sea with the Valley of God. Suddy, I just want to ask a question. 100 Beast Kaido, Linlin in his youth is very thin, what is like now, the old lady? Big Mom, shut up. Geo Snake Island. Pulling Granny Jia over and putting her in front of him, Hancock stared at her with a pair of big eyes, aged face, loose skin, short stature. Looking at the flame flower in the video, she has a delicate and pretty face, a tall and hot body, and delicate skin like snow. She is simply a rare beauty, bang. Granny Jia was thrown away by Hancock. How are they alike? They are clearly two different people. Humph. Rude guy, can't you see? This is me. Granny Jia was very unhappy with Hancock's behavior. She struggled to stand up and patted the dust off her body. It's just that I'm a little older. What's so strange about it? Just a little older. Hancock's voice suddenly became louder. That's right, Granny Jia said righteously, Snake Princess, you will be the same as me in the future, bang. Hancock collapsed to the ground, with despair in her eyes that doubted her life. I'd rather die than become like you. Disrespectful. Grandma pouted. Luffy, who was watching everything silently, said. Have you seen this scene before? It seems that Sanji also said the same thing in Water City. The live broadcast is still going on, the battle in God Valley is getting more and more intense at this time. Rocks who rushed into the battlefield was like a human weapon. The Navy, pirates, celestial dragons, world government agents, countless people died tragically in his hands. Ha ha ha. Is this the so-called celestial dragon? Puff blood splattered, and the celestial dragons, who were known as the world's aristocrats and high above, encountered the biggest crisis in history. O God's knights! Rock sneered, you dare to call yourself God? Puff. The celestial dragons of the God's knights are slaughtering civilians in the canyon wantonly, while Rocks is slaughtering them. The pirates are searching for treasures like crazy. This also made Garp and Roger, who were originally fighting each other, stop immediately and join forces to deal with Rocks. Wait, Rocks. Stop getting in the way, Roger. Boom. The war was about to break out, and Rocks was defeated in the end. The Valley of the Gods also sank to the bottom of the sea as time went by. Garp became famous in one battle and was praised as a naval hero by the whole world. The Rocks pirates, who were not united to begin with, completely fell apart and fought on their own. Afterwards, when the war subsided, the Roger pirates took the opportunity to rob a large amount of treasure and escaped. A certain sea area. It's bad, Captain Roger. We stole treasure, found. Ding. The question and answer session begins. Question: what did the Roger pirates rob in the Battle of God Valley that surprised them so much? Choice 1, 2 animal-type mythical beast fruits. Choice 2, Pluto design drawings. Choice 3, 2 babies. Choice 4, treasure map to Raftel. Ding! Time limit is 5 minutes. Hint, each person has only one chance to answer. If you fail, you will automatically give up the next chance to answer. The reward for the correct answer belongs only to the answerer. Violators will be punished in the live broadcast room. The whole world. Oh my god, this is the legendary Pirate Rocks. So scary. I didn't expect that it was Mr. Garp who teamed up with Roger to defeat him. I always thought it was Mr. Garp's credit. Humph. The Navy, the world government, is a joke. Shameless. Damn it, where is the Valley of the Gods? Why are the celestial dragons hunting them down? Hey, they are all civilians like us. Unforgivable, celestial dragons, the world government, the Knights of God, I will never forgive them. That guy called Grim is simply a butcher, at least tens of thousands of people have died in his hands. The end of the world. Live broadcast room, Kaido of the Beasts, I want to protest, this is unfair, the people of Roger's pirate group are all involved, at least Roger, that bastard, and Rayleigh must know the correct answer. Big Mom, that's right, this question is unfair to us. Whitebeard, Gulala 2 idiots, this time the live broadcast room does not stipulate that there is only one person who can answer correctly. Why don't you just answer with Roger and Rayleigh? Kaido of the Beasts, huh? Whitebeard, you old man are quite smart. Big Mom, Momamo, this time the reward belongs to me. Ben Beckman, unfortunately, you will be disappointed, because after your protest, this possibility no longer exists. Sand Crocodile, hehe, Roger and Rayleigh will definitely give the correct answer at the last moment of the question and answer time. Crack. A bolt from the blue. Kaido and Big Mom were stunned at the same time. Big Mom, despicable Roger. Kaido, you idiot. Kaido of the Beasts, old woman, you are the least qualified to say anything about me. Yellow Spring, Roger's eyes flashed with cunning, and he said disdainfully. Humph. Do you think I will tell you in advance? Dream on. Chapter 32. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Doflamingo, hey, now it's up to each of you to figure it out. Sachi, the correct answer must be option 1. The existence that can make Rayleigh and Jabba excited must be an extremely rare devil fruit. Doflamingo, huh? It's clearly option 4. It's because the Roger pirates stole the treasure map in the Battle of God Valley that they found Raftel. Katakuri, so why does the world government have the treasure map, but they don't go there themselves? Mariah, he answer, option 1, in the Battle of God Valley, the Roger pirates stole 2 animal-type mythical beasts. Sand Crocodile, Moria is really fast. Big Mom, at Roger, at Rayleigh, you 2 damn guys, tell me the correct answer. Pirate King Roger, Pluto. Rayleigh, dream on. Katakuri, answer, option 1 inch the Battle of God Valley, Roger's pirate group grabbed 2 animal-type mythical beast devil fruits. Perona, didn't anyone notice that the leader of the Knights of God looked a bit like red hair? Unfortunately, this message was covered by the discussion of the crowd not long after it was sent out. Impulse City, Beast Hell. Since the Battle of God Valley was exposed by the live broadcast room, all the criminals in the second-floor prison were stunned. Esque. Captain Buggy, have you ever participated in a battle of this level? Oh my god, Roger, Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido. It's unbelievable that you actually fought side by side with these big guys. I dare not even think about this kind of thing. We are not even worthy of dreaming. I am so lucky to be Captain Buggy's younger brother. Ha ha ha. With Captain Buggy's strength, I am afraid he must have killed several celestial dragons. Asshole, are you underestimating Lord Buggy? At least hundreds of them. Buggy looked at everyone with a confused look in his eyes. What are these assholes talking about? Of course he knew about the Battle of God Valley. But, did I really participate? Why can't I remember it? And I am afraid I was not even born at that time. There are hundreds of celestial dragons. Do you want me to kill them with my head? Strange, didn't you notice? At this time, a criminal asked in confusion. What? Lord Buggy. I don't think I saw Lord Buggy. Huh. Now that you say that, it seems to be true. No, no, no. How is this possible? This is the experience of Lord Buggy in the parallel world. If Lord Buggy is not here, why would the live broadcast room broadcast it? Boom. Buggy's heart trembled fiercely, his eyes suddenly widened, staring at the four options given by the live broadcast room. So that's it, I finally understood, Wano Country, Onigashima. Is it really option 1? The mythical beast devil fruit? Quinn murmured with his head down. Mr. Kaido doesn't know either. Flame Disaster Jean looked at Kaido, who was drinking wildly from the wine jar. After that bastard Rocks died, Linlin and I left the Valley of the Gods. Who knows what treasure Roger picked up? Kaido was telling the truth. Originally, the Rocks pirates came to the Valley of the Gods for the final reward of the rabbit escape competition held by the celestial dragons. Who knew that Rocks, the bastard, was so bloodthirsty that he didn't care about killing anyone he saw, so after grabbing the treasure and seeing that Rocks was dead, everyone left in a hurry. So. Flame Disaster Jean frowned slightly. He always felt something was wrong, as if he had forgotten something. I think it should be option 3, at this time, Jack, who had been silent all the time, said weakly. Choose 3. 2 babies. Everyone was stunned when they heard this, and Quinn said in a weird tone, Jack, you are not confused, right? What kind of treasure is a baby? Jack lowered his head and did not dare to refute. Kaido, Jean and the people of the Beast's pirates laughed. Jack, are you teasing us on purpose? Ridiculous idea. Baby? Why don't you talk about the treasure map? Listening to the people's laughter, Jack was trembling with anger. Damn Quinn. Sooner or later, I will let you know that I, Jack, am not easy to mess with. Of course, there is one thing Jack didn't say, that is, since the protagonist this time is Buggy the Clown from the parallel world, then where is he? Why has he never appeared from beginning to end? Thinking of this, Jack's eyes became more determined. Joey Xiangtu, answer, choice 3 inches. The Battle of God Valley, the treasure that Roger's pirates snatched was 2 babies. Puff. As soon as this was said, the whole live broadcast room burst into laughter. Whitebeard, Gulalala, is this bastard Xiangtu crazy? Sachi, I've seen that he's mentally ill for a long time. Flamingo, he it has to be you, Xiangtu. New world, a certain sea. Area. Baby. After seeing Jack's answer, Shanks sat up suddenly with extremely complicated eyes. For some reason, he suddenly had a feeling that maybe this was the real answer. 2 babies. Aren't these himself and Buggy? Shanks has always known his true identity, but he never thought that he would come to Roger's pirates in this way. Buggy the Clown, answer, option 3, in the Battle of God Valley, Roger's pirates snatched 2 babies. Buggy actually thought of that, not bad. A smile appeared on Shanks' face. Buggy and I had a really good relationship when we were young. It's a pity that now, Pirate King Roger, answer, option 3, in the Battle of God Valley, Roger's pirates snatched 2 babies. Not good. That when Shanks saw Captain Roger's answer, he panicked. Doesn't this mean that the QA time is about to end? Red-haired Shanks, answer, option 3, in the Battle of God Valley, Roger's pirates, ding. The question time ends. The cold voice in the live broadcast room interrupted Shanks' answer. Bang. Shanks sat on the ground with a bitter smile, looking helpless. Why are you reminiscing about the past when you have nothing to do? Damn it. At the same time, the Shabati archipelago, Bang. Rayleigh dropped the wine jar in his hand heavily, looking at the live broadcast room in disbelief. Across from him, Xia Qi at the bar rolled her eyes and glared at him unhappily. Drink, keep drinking. Rayleigh. From today on, I will stop drinking. Chapter 33. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Marshal Sengoku, baby. Kaido, baby. Big Mom, Roger, are you kidding me? How could it be a baby? Whitebeard, Gulala Roger, you even snatched a baby, Marshal Sengoku, unbelievable, crazy, outrageous, red-haired Shanks. Flame Disaster Gene, humph. I said something was wrong. It was obviously Buggy the Clown's experience, but he never showed up, Flamingo, he, so the baby is that clown. What about the other one? It can't be red hair, right, Marco, it should be, Mogami Mariah, strange when the baby. Why did the red-haired man of the period appear in the Valley of the Gods? Is he an aboriginal? At Sachi, you idiot, don't guess without a brain in the future. Sand Crocodile, Roger, Joker, tut, this time the reward belongs to Roger's pirate group. By the way, where is Rayleigh? Why didn't he answer, Katakuri, maybe he can't react because of his age. Perona, Ivory also guessed it right, Flame Disaster Gene. Plague Disaster Quinn. Pirate King Roger, hahaha Rayleigh, you won't drink again, right, Pluto Rayleigh, I'll say it, I'll quit drinking in the future, the live broadcast is still going on, what is this? Looking at the baby in the hands of Rayleigh and Jabba, Roger was confused, and opened his mouth wide, not knowing what to say for a while. Baby! Roger, can't you see it? Jabba said excitedly. I want to ask where this baby came from. From whom did you snatch it? I don't know, it could be the Celestial Dragons or the Rocks Pirates. Rayleigh said helplessly. Roger was helpless. How could the Roger Pirates, who dominated the sea, snatch a baby? How about, return it? Wow, at this time, the two babies were awakened by the shock and burst into tears. The three people who were at a loss whispered to comfort them. Roger lowered his head and gently peeled off the soft cloth covering the baby's face. Wow, Roger was happy at a glance. These two babies really have their own characteristics. One has red hair and the other has a red nose. Ding! Joel D. Roger answered correctly, reward, resurrection emblem. Ding! Buggy the Clown answered correctly, reward, ugly king mask. Ding! Drought Jack answered correctly, reward, strength potion. Boom! At this moment, the whole world began to buzz, resurrection emblem. This kind of treasure that is comparable to the heavens, it actually appeared, and the person who got it is the man who should not have gotten it the most, Pirate King Roger, who is regarded as a nightmare by countless people and was once the #1 enemy of the world government. Is he really going to be resurrected? Whitebeard, Gulala Roger, you bastard are really lucky, Pirate King Roger, I will not use this resurrection emblem immediately. As for the reason, I think you should understand Whitebeard, right, Whitebeard, okay, I'll wait for you. For Whitebeard, Roger is his lifelong enemy. Roger is also like this, under this kind of friend-enemy relationship, Whitebeard almost understands the meaning of Roger's words without even thinking about it. Looking at the blue sky, Whitebeard couldn't help but show a hint of expectation on his face. That day should be very lively. Boom! Yellow spring, thunder fell from the sky and landed in Roger's hands. The next second, a resurrection emblem with mysterious runes appeared. Holding the emblem in his palm, Roger did not revive himself immediately. Hee Navy, world government, a flash of anger flashed across his resolute face, and Roger sneered, sooner or later, I will settle this account with you, Holy Land, Marihoa. Asshole. What the hell is going on in this live broadcast room? Resurrection emblem, damn Roger, I will never allow him to revive. But how can you stop it? Humph. Where is the Lord? What did that person say? That when the Lord was mentioned, the atmosphere in the Hall of Power suddenly became solemn. No reply, St. Topman Vacheli said in a deep voice, since the live broadcast room appeared, that person has not responded again. What? St. Marcus Maz stood up suddenly, could it be that the Lord was? No. This is absolutely impossible. That person cannot lose. But what should we do now? Gigalushia Satan frowned and said, I am not worried about the Straw Hat Boy in this world. What really scares me is the Straw Hat Boy in the parallel world. With his talent, he may really be able to awaken the damn fruit ability. Once he attracts the attention of the Straw Hat Boy here. As soon as these words came out, the faces of the 5 elders changed. Impossible. This kind of thing has not happened for hundreds of years. That's right, I don't believe it. Don't forget that for this fruit, the world government has spent a lot of effort to take it back for hundreds of years. Izambaron v. Nashowling said coldly, but it succeeded once. And what about the Straw Hat Boy? Ingested by mistake? Humph. Do you really believe this ridiculous misunderstanding? Saint Nasu Sholang's words made the other people speechless. The animal-type mythical beast Nika fruit that has not been recovered for hundreds of years, the supreme existence with the name of God, was easily obtained and eaten by the Straw Hat Boy, sure enough. Did the fruit choose the straw hat? Damn it. It's all the fault of that red-haired guy. Which side is he on? What on earth is that guy Green doing? If he hadn't robbed the Nika fruit that should have belonged to the world government, things wouldn't have come to this. No. We have to get rid of the Straw Hat Boy as soon as possible. But if we push too hard, what if he awakens? Suddenly, the hall fell into silence again. Impulse City, Beast Hell, the prison was strangely quiet, and the expressions of the criminals were very subtle, but more of them were weird. Baby? During the Battle of God Valley, Lord Buggy was actually a baby. Then those flattering words said before, don't we look stupid? Sugoi. At this time, the criminal who had previously praised Buggy for slaughtering at least hundreds of celestial dragons, rolled his eyes, and immediately said with admiration, you can survive this great war as a baby and remain unscathed, Lord Buggy, you are simply a god, criminals, fuck. You can lick it back. Young man, you are on the road to heaven. Ha ha ha, it's a small matter, I'm Uncle Buggy. Buggy was so happy that he almost lost his mind. These bastards, just tell the truth, don't say it again. Otherwise, I will be proud. Boom. The thunder penetrated the underwater prison and shot into Buggy's hands. A clown mask split into black and white appeared in Buggy's hands. It was the ugly mask. Quick. Try it on, Buggy. It must be very powerful. As expected of Captain Buggy, he is so powerful. He. Buggy smiled and covered his face with the ugly king mask bit by bit. For some reason, he always felt that this mask fit him perfectly. Maybe this is the style of a strong man. Clicked. At the moment the mask was embedded on his face, all the information about the ugly king mask instantly flooded into Buggy's mind. A cold and weird laugh came from Buggy's mouth, and his originally short body became tall, and the eyes that penetrated the mask flashed with coldness, which made people shudder. Good, so handsome. Stronger. Lord Buggy. Sure enough, it's right to follow Captain Buggy. Huh? What is this? A criminal saw the white cloth under Buggy's feet and picked it up curiously. Puff. White smoke rose, the criminal disappeared, and was replaced by a cute cartoon doll. Chapter 34. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wano Country, Onigashima. Damn it, Jack, that bastard, actually guessed it right. Quinn's face was full of anger, and he glared at Jack unhappily, feeling very unhappy, if it weren't for the live broadcast room's rule that it is not allowed to snatch other people's rewards. Humph. Jack did a good job. Kaido was overjoyed. After all, he is his subordinate, and it is also a great honor for him as a captain to get the reward. Jean also nodded and said, it is indeed thoughtful. We should listen to your reasons, Jack. No, it's just good luck. Jack had a blank expression on his face, and he echoed it with his mouth, showing a very humble attitude, but he was so happy in his heart. It's what he deserved. It's what he deserved. Who told you not to listen to me? You look down on me, Drought Jack, right? Humph. I'll be jealous of you later. I won't leave you a drop, especially you. Damn Quinn, rumbled. The thunder fell and smashed into Jack's hand, turning into a bottle of red potion, which was extremely rare. Without waiting for the others to react, Jack unscrewed the bottle cap without saying a word and swallowed it all in one gulp. Jack, you. Quinn was about to stop him, but it was too late. he could only stare at Jack with a pair of ferocious eyes. Angrily, bang! The medicine bottle fell to the ground, and an extremely powerful force instantly exploded in Jack's body. The terrifying impact force was like a rolling air wave, flying sand and rocks, sweeping away everything around Jack. The strength potion began to take effect. Bang! 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 The crackling explosion sounded in Jack's body, and his breath was like thunder. His already strong body gradually expanded violently, and his thick muscles piled up like a mountain, piling up on his body. His aura was extremely terrifying. Quinn, who was closest to him, felt it particularly clearly, and his heart palpitated for a while. After a while, Jack's breath gradually stabilized, and when he opened his eyes, he was so scared that even Quinn didn't dare to look directly at him. Is this the magic of the power potion? Looking at Jack, who had changed drastically, Kaido's words were full of envy that could not be concealed. If he was the one who got the power potion, what Whitebeard, what Roger, they would all be cattle and horses at that time. The power has indeed increased a lot, but we still have to try it to be accurate. Kaido said in a deep voice, Jean, you will be Jack's opponent. Okay. Jean, the flame disaster, walked forward and glanced at Jack with cold eyes. Jack panicked immediately. He quickly retreated and waved his hands, saying, No, Boss Jean, don't be like this, calm down. Although his strength has skyrocketed and he is more confident, he is still a little weak when facing Jean. Besides, everyone in the Beast's Pirates knows that Boss Jean is ruthless. If he doesn't move, it's fine. Once he moves, he will kill him. I can't afford to offend him. Then what do you want? Jean frowned, seeming dissatisfied. This. Why don't I and Brother Quinn try it? Quinn's eyes widened when he heard it, and he angrily hated Jack. What do you mean? Bastard. Boss Jean, you don't dare to do it, but I dare, right? Who do you think you are? He immediately sneered. Jack, you kid don't think that you can beat me after taking the strength potion. No. I don't mean that, Brother Quinn. Just a sparring match, just a test. You. Jack looked strange. You don't dare, do you? I'm going to beat you, you bastard. Today I'm going to let you know that I, Jack, am not a pushover. The ranking of the three disasters should change. Asshole, I think that's what you mean. Bang! The completely enraged Quinn rushed up like a cannonball, pointing directly at Jack's head. Seeing this, Jack laughed instead of getting angry. His body sank slightly, his feet fixed his body like a rock, and he swung his huge palm and slapped it back. Pa! The loud slap echoed. Quinn spit out blood and flew out, falling heavily to the ground. His left face was swollen like a pig's head, and he fell into a coma. Jack is so happy today. Jack clapped his hands and hummed a song in his heart, not to mention how beautiful it was. Kaido and Jean were already dumbfounded. Is this the reward in the live broadcast room? Terrible. Ding. Charlotte Katakuri answered incorrectly. Punishment, deprivation of armament haki. Ding. Gecko Moria answered incorrectly. Punishment, deprivation of 3 years of life. Kaido, Little you, the show is over. Big Mom, Mamamo, my fun is over. Straw Hat Boy, I didn't catch up again this time. Nami. Sachi, at Moonlight Moria, congratulations, you are 3 years older. Bang. Moria smashed the wall of the castle with one punch, and was so angry that his whole body was shaking. Damn Sachi, I must kill you. Ding. The comparison continues. In the Battle of God Valley, Roger's pirate group obtained 2 babies. Several years later. North Pole. No. It's South Pole. Are you still going to fight with me? Bastard. I just want to fight, I am right. You are quite courageous. Today I will compete with you. Come if you can. On the deck of the Roger pirates, Shanks and Buggy, who have grown into teenagers, are tearing each other apart and arguing endlessly. Bang! Vice Captain Rayleigh punched both of them hard on the head and said unhappily, which is colder, the North Pole or the South Pole? It doesn't matter what happens. Calm down. Just then, the enemy ship attacked. Ha ha ha. Start looting. Buggy's face was full of excitement. You seem very happy, Buggy. Shanks asked with a smile. Humph. Is there any need to say that? The enemy ship is like a treasure chest, and pirates are going to rob it, right? Boom. After the war, Buggy grabbed a treasure map that sank to the bottom of the sea. At night. On the deck, Buggy looked at the treasure map and couldn't stop laughing. Suddenly, a voice sounded behind him. Hey! Buggy, don't you want to drink? I got some interesting spoils today. At some point, Shanks appeared behind him with a bottle of wine, which scared Buggy. What are you going to do after getting off the ship? Buggy asked Shanks while sitting on the railing. Of course I have my own ship, find a group of trustworthy companions, and travel around the world together. Humph. Buggy said disdainfully, you still say naive things as always. What did you say? Only your fighting ability, I am sure of it. If you are not so naive, I would be happy to have you as my subordinate. Buggy said with a half-smile. Ha ha ha. Don't joke about being your subordinate. Shanks raised the bottle, took a sip, and raised the corner of his mouth. We have different ideas, so it's better for us to go our separate ways. After all, this is pirates. TSK Buggy also laughed, and said in a low voice, I didn't expect you to mention pirates, but if we meet on the sea, we will kill each other. Really? Shanks looked up at the sky and chuckled, if there really comes such a day, Buggy, will you fight me? TSK. Who do you think you are? I will not show mercy. Buggy ruthlessly rejected the other party's words, and then after a few seconds of silence, he asked softly, what about you? Me. Shanks was still laughing, absolutely not. Note, parents who feed and clothe you, please click on the free gifts. Potato is grateful. Chapter 35. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Live broadcast room, Kaido, ugh, this is the red-nosed clown, pretty arrogant, Charlotte Bruley, wow, so touching, I'm going to cry again. 9 billion ivory, ah. What's touching, Sage, hold on, or you'll regret it. Katakuri, calm down, Bruley, Pirate King Roger, ha ha ha. Buggy and Shanks had a really good relationship back then. Pluto Rayleigh, I just don't know why it turned out like this later. Red-haired Shanks, actually, I don't understand it either. Clown Buggy, humph. Damn Shanks, you act like you know nothing again, ah. I'm so angry, it's all your fault. The next day, after learning from Shanks that the devil fruit was worth 100 million Baileys, Buggy became greedy and ate the imitation devil fruit in front of the entire pirate group. The real devil fruit was secretly hidden by him. Unfortunately, due to some strange circumstances, Buggy, who was frightened by Shanks, accidentally ate the superhuman split fruit, was cursed by the sea, and became a landlubber, and the treasure map in his hand fell into the sea. Since then, Buggy has blamed Shanks for all the mistakes. Red-haired Shanks, a lie. Buggy ate the devil fruit because of me. No wonder Buggy would quarrel with me whenever the devil fruit was mentioned, ha ha ha. So that's how it is, Clown Buggy, it's all your fault, Shanks, I will never forgive you, and my treasure map, if you didn't scare me on purpose, how could it fall into the sea, Red-haired Shanks, treasure map. Oh, I remember, but later you jumped into the sea, and I saved you, Clown Buggy, then why did I jump into the sea? Isn't it all your fault, Shaw Crocodile? Such a complicated relationship, Sachi, actually, you two have a very good relationship, right? Charlotte Brune, woo-woo. Pirate King Roger, ha ha ha. So that's how it is. Rayleigh and I have always been curious. Why did Buggy eat the devil fruit when he likes to find treasures so much? I didn't expect that it was you, Shanks, who caused the trouble, Pluto Rayleigh, yeah, in fact, we all know that the devil fruit that Buggy ate at that time was fake. But we didn't expose it. Impel City, Buggy's face suddenly turned red, and he couldn't even raise his head in shame. So everyone knows it, that he thought he had concealed the truth and his acting skills were flawless. I didn't expect everyone to have seen through it, Buggy the Clown. Yes, I'm sorry Captain Roger, Mr. Rayleigh. Pirate King Roger, ha ha ha, what's there to apologize for? We all know that you've always wanted a ship of your own, Buggy. Everyone was surprised when they found out you became a capable person. Buggy the Clown, Captain Roger, I'm so surprised. Red-haired Shanks, yeah, I was also surprised. Buggy the Clown. Buggy wiped away his tears and suddenly felt so tired. Sure enough, he shouldn't have talked to Shanks, that bastard. The live broadcast is still going on. Boom. Oh no, Captain. The Whitebeard pirates, they are coming. Ha ha ha. Buggy, you are so weak that you can't even be killed by a knife. Are you still afraid? Boom. In the woods, a samurai wearing wooden clogs and holding a knife in both hands came over, cutting through the thorns and rushing into the camp of the Roger pirates. Samurai. Roger's eyes lit up when he saw this, and he laughed and went up to him. Get out of the way, I'll deal with him, but I can't let you get hurt. Jabba. Rayleigh, I think you want to do it yourself. Ahahaha. Facing the samurai Kazuki Oden who was rushing towards him, Roger held the supreme sword, ace in his right hand. The moment his body slightly turned sideways, there was a crackling sound, and the terrifying domineering aura wrapped around the sword, bursting out several black and purple thunderbolts, and he slashed out with one sword. God dodge. Boom. The condensed black sword energy shot out from Ace and slashed Kazuki Oden's waist, slashing him hard and sending him flying. Gulala lala Roger. The wild laughter that resounded throughout the island reverberated in the sky. The next second, another great pirate of the time, Edward Newgate, the Whitebeard, soared into the air, also holding Kasugawa Kirii, one of the 12 works of the supreme great swords, with a powerful momentum, terrifying the domineering color wrapped around the blade, slashing down heavily at Roger. Bang! The moment two completely different but earth-shattering forces collided, the sky and the earth changed color, and even the island was shaking. In this way, the war lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. After everything calmed down, the two pirate groups began to exchange gifts. Are those guys interns? Teach, who belongs to the Whitebeard pirates, pointed at Shanks and Buggy and asked Marco. Yeah, I mean they were here a long time ago. Ha. They look so weak. Teach's face was full of rebellion. Marco laughed, ha ha ha, your attitude is quite arrogant. Hey. Shanks. Buggy suddenly shouted. What's wrong? Did you see the guy in the hat? Yeah. That guy didn't seem to sleep at all yesterday, and before that, including the truce at night. Why? Is he showing off that he doesn't sleep? Shanks was full of questions. No, I heard that he has never slept since he was born. Ah. There are such people. Shanks was shocked, and then his face was full of envy. That's great. I guess the fun of life has increased several times. Baki. Is this what I want to say? Do you have a brain? Damn Shanks. Kaido, ugh, this kid is the so-called Blackbeard, right? The guy who betrayed the Whitebeard pirates. Big Mom, Mamamo. Not only that, he also killed the damn guy Thatch. 0.9 billion ivory, good kill. Katakuri, great kill. Quinn, so satisfying. Sand crocodile, he. It would be great if the live broadcast room could broadcast the scene of Thatch being killed. Moonlight Moria, strongly request that the live broadcast room broadcast Thatch's death. I love to watch it. Doflamingo, he. I think too much, the live broadcast room will not broadcast such a small character. Thatch. Pirate King Roger, humph. He dared to kill his own companions, unforgivable. Roger, who has always valued the feelings of his companions, was very angry at Blackbeard's behavior. Blackbeard teach, haha, for power, why not? The sea is a world where the weak are the prey of the strong. Now that I have it, Blackbeard, will definitely become the king of the sea. Straw Hat Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, am the Pirate King. Blackbeard teach, Straw Hat Luffy, I didn't expect you to be Ace's brother. Unfortunately, I didn't kill you in Magic Valley Town. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you that your brother Ace was captured by the Navy because of me, ha ha ha. Straw Hat Luffy, you bastard. Marco, run away, teach, just run away. Sooner or later, I will catch you and kill you. Sachi, teach, I'm so fussy. Fire Fist Ace, at Blackbeard teach, wait until I get out of prison. Yellow Spring. Marshall D. teach. Whispering the name, Roger's eyes flashed with anger that had never appeared before. Capture Ace and hand him over to the Navy. Good. 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 Roger's chest rose and fell violently, and everything around him began to tremble wildly. He was obviously furious. How dare you do this to my son, Roger? Unforgivable, Roger held the resurrection emblem tightly in his hand, and he wanted to use it immediately, but he held back. Just wait. As long as Ace is rescued, it will be your death. Teach. Chapter 36. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the year 1497 of the Sea Circle calendar, Buggy is 14 years old, and the Roger pirates are about to arrive at Raftel. Buggy suddenly fell ill. In order to take care of Buggy, Shanks voluntarily gave up the opportunity to enter Raftel. In the year 1498 of the Sea Circle calendar, in the East China Sea, Roger, the Pirate King, shouted the words that made pirates all over the world crazy on the execution platform. From then on, the Great Pirate Era began. Under the execution platform, Buggy and Shanks, who inherited Roger's straw hat, burst into tears. The once famous Roger pirates disbanded on the spot and went their separate ways. East China Sea, Roger Town, Port. After standing for a long time, looking at the boundless sea in front of him, the pedestrians coming and going hurriedly around him, Shanks, with tears still faintly left in the corners of his eyes under the wide brim of his hat, asked in a deep voice, "Are you really not going with me?" Buggy. Puff Buggy, sitting on the railing with his hands behind his head, chuckled, "You know, my ideas are different from yours, and we can't get along. Besides, no one can be my captain except that person." A trace of loneliness appeared on Shanks' face. Just as he was about to speak, he heard Buggy laugh again. "Of course, if you really can't bear to leave me, I can also reluctantly let you get on my ship." Buggy raised his eyebrows and joked, "After all, I recognize your strength. How about it? Are you interested?" When asking this question, Buggy has been paying attention to Shanks' expression. He hopes that the other party will agree. Unfortunately, Buggy is disappointed. "I can give you the same words. You know, we have different ideas." Shanks was laughing, but his tone was a little sad. "Yeah. After all, besides myself, you are the only one who knows me best. Of course, you are just a cowardly, greedy, and arrogant guy. TSK, what about you? How good can you be? Then I am much better than you. Humph. Lies. This is the truth. Want to fight, bastard. Come on. I'll beat you up before I leave. Ha 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 ha, I hate you the most for always having such an arrogant face. What? Do you think you are good? You are a ridiculous Buggy who can only shout. Asshole, say it again if you dare. Buggy ripped Shanks' collar viciously. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Shanks also grabbed Buggy's collar and said angrily. The two people's strange behavior soon attracted the attention of pedestrians around the port, but Buggy and Shanks never gave in, just like the two teenagers who argued on the deck about who was colder, the South Pole or the North Pole. Ha ha ha. Shanks suddenly laughed, pushed Buggy away, pressed his hands heavily on the railing, and looked out at the sea. That's great. We have grown up and are about to embrace a brand new life. Humph. Just based on your ridiculous concept. Buggy came to Shanks with a smile, also looking at the sea, and said comfortably, "It's time to say goodbye. Take care. Take care." At this moment, the pictures intertwined. Buggy and Shanks turned around at the same time as children, running in opposite directions, and their bodies gradually grew into teenagers. "By the way, I remember I asked you a question then." Shanks' voice sounded behind him. "What?" Buggy didn't look back. "Did you forget?" "No." "What?" "I said my answer is, absolutely not." "Ha ha ha." Shanks' hearty laughter came from behind him. "What are you laughing at?" Buggy, who had his back to the other person, was a little embarrassed and said unhappily, "Asshole, in that case, I'll ask you a question too." "Go ahead." "If one day, I die in the sea, will you avenge me?" What Buggy didn't expect was that Shanks answered very quickly, almost without any hesitation. "I will." Shanks said loudly, "If you die, no matter who you are or where you are, I will avenge you." "Thank you." Waving his hand, Buggy strode into the bustling crowd. However, I don't know if it was his illusion, but Buggy vaguely heard Shanks's gentle questioning behind him. "What about you?" "Hey, it's an illusion." Buggy shook his head and stopped thinking about it. He held his head and thought about it, wandering purposefully on the busy streets. After walking for an unknown amount of time, the smile on his lips gradually faded. After blinking, Buggy suddenly stopped and looked up at the sky. Memories emerged one by one like fragments. "Bucky, be careful. Asshole Whitebeard, if you dare to hurt Buggy, I will never let you go." "No, that's not right, Buggy's nose is not stained red with blood." "Idiot, Raftel, I will definitely go see you in person in the future, but what's more important right now is your illness." With his lips slightly raised, Buggy whispered something. "Of course I will. Asshole." Live broadcast room, Buggy the Clown, this is me. Asshole, this is not me. Pirate King Roger, ha ha ha. Little Buggy in another world is so cute. Pluto Rayleigh, actually, this world is the same. Buggy is just hiding it. Red-haired Shanks, I am so touched by Buggy. Buggy the Clown, ah. Stop talking. Impulse City, Buggy covered his face with clothes like crazy, shouting that this is not me. So disgusting. How could I say such disgusting words, so shameful. Captain Buggy. The criminals in the prison all looked at Buggy. Huh? Buggy looked up and asked. He Captain, you actually have a very good relationship with the Four Emperors' red hair, right? That's right, Captain, don't try to fool us, we can see it all. Shanks, I will never do anything to you. Shanks, I will definitely avenge you. Ah. So touching, I'm about to cry. The criminals screamed and hugged their arms, their bodies almost twisted into maggots, bang. Buggy, who was completely dead, fell stiffly to the ground, there was no longer any nostalgia for this world in his eyes. Let me die. Sure enough, I will never be able to get along with Shanks in this life. Chapter 37. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After parting ways with Shanks, Buggy temporarily stayed in Rogue Town. Every morning, he would come to the execution platform and stare blankly for an hour or two, watching all kinds of people. Occasionally, he would be questioned by the Navy, but he always avoided them. Eating, sleeping, staring blankly, shopping, time passed little by little, until a year later, Buggy set off. He came to an island in the East China Sea and prepared to live there for a long time. The Great Pirate Era has begun, and more pirates have sprung up like mushrooms after rain, which also makes Buggy feel a sense of crisis. Don't be eliminated by the times, Buggy. On the reef, Buggy looked at the sea and smiled bitterly. You are a crew member of the Pirate King Roger. A year of waste made Buggy's body stiff a lot, and even building a house by hand was a little difficult. Asshole. Buggy scolded himself. Although he didn't know how Shanks was doing now, Buggy knew that with his strength, it would only be a matter of time before he became famous in the sea. What about him? Unknown. No. This is not the future Buggy wants to see. So, the first thing to do is to build a comfortable house. After calming down, Buggy rubbed his hands, swung the axe and chopped it hard on the thick tree. Boom! The tree didn't move at all, but Buggy was shocked and took several steps back. Damn it! Buggy kicked the tree trunk hard and finally found something wrong with the trees on the island. The trees here seemed to be much harder. Buggy muttered to himself, and the next second he couldn't help but get angry again. Can't my Uncle Buggy do anything to a tree? Bang! Sitting down in front of the tree, Buggy began to think. If I hadn't eaten that devil fruit by mistake, maybe under the guidance of Captain Roger, I might have learned hockey a long time ago. Damn Shanks! No, why did you think of that bastard Shanks again? Buggy shook his head vigorously and began to ponder again. Since you have already eaten the parahuman-type split fruit, you should accept the reality and fully exert the power of the fruit. Live broadcast room, red-haired Shanks, Bucky, is it so difficult? Seeing that Buggy was so pitiful that even a tree bullied him, Shanks regretted his recklessness for the first time. Pirate King Roger, ha, you have to believe in little Buggy, Shanks. Pluto Rayleigh, that's right, not everyone can be a trainee in my Roger Pirates. I believe in Buggy. Whitebeard, Gulala the red-nosed kid is not lacking in courage, the only thing he lacks is strength. Roger, you bastard, don't you even teach him hockey? Pirate King Roger, who said I didn't teach him? Rayleigh and I almost forced him to learn. Pluto Rayleigh, it is obvious that Buggy has a problem with his mentality after getting the devil fruit. After thinking that he has become indestructible even with a knife, he began to relax about hockey. Besides, we did protect him too well. Alas, now he is alone. It's time to wake up. Marco, but can he solve the problem by thinking like this? Time passes, Buggy sits in front of the tree and thinks for 10 days and 10 nights. Suddenly, I figured it out. The joyful voice echoed in the forest, and Buggy stood up suddenly, his face full of excitement. Pressing his hand heavily on the tree trunk, he shouted, "Shatter into pieces and peel off." Puff! In an instant, the originally thick and hard tree trunk immediately turned into countless slender wood blocks, which fell to the ground with a bang. Ha. As expected, I did it, I finally did it. Buggy was very happy. Then, Buggy used his newly researched fruit ability to prepare all the materials for building a house. Shatter into pieces and combine. A magical scene appeared. The wood blocks, straw, and stones scattered on the ground floated up one after another, and began to be quickly assembled according to the house structure imagined in Buggy's mind. At first, there were some bumps, but as Buggy's methods became more and more proficient, soon, a brand new wooden house appeared in front of him. Nodding with satisfaction, Buggy did not move in right away, but came to the beach. Building a house was only a small part of his plan, just a try. What he really needs to do is to rely on his own abilities to improve his strength. Facing the sea breeze, Buggy once again recalled the bold idea he had assumed countless times in the past 10 days and 10 nights, body splitting. Hockey, I want to learn, and I want to learn the fruit ability too. Buggy clenched his fists and said firmly, I want all of them, Buggy. Split into pieces, body reassembled. Puff. As soon as the voice fell, Buggy disappeared out of thin air, but turned into tens of thousands of tiny particles, suspended in the air. Then, these tens of thousands of tiny particles reassembled again, and the brain, body, limbs, waist, and facial features condensed together to form a human form. At that time, 2 miniature versions of Buggy fell steadily to the ground. Buggy's great battle, success. Bang! The 2 Buggies fell to the ground at the same time, their faces pale and sweating. But they were all laughing very happily, laughing very confidently. Ahem, I finally have the capital to become stronger. After saying that, Buggy's eyes went dark, and he could no longer suppress the severe pain in his body. and he completely fainted. Live broadcast room, silence, endless silence. Everyone fell silent. To be precise, they were completely shocked by Buggy's action and could not speak. Outrageous, shocking, unbelievable, weird. In an instant, everyone's heart was shrouded in these emotions. My God, this clown is a freak. Kaido, clone. Split? Am I seeing right? This is something that humans can do. Big Mom, Momomo, terrible idea. Splitting the body and brain into two is equivalent to having an extra clone for nothing. Whitebeard, I have to say, the red-nosed kid's idea is very bold. Marco, the most outrageous thing is that he actually succeeded. Sachi, it's cruel. Too cruel. Although he has the blessing of the fruit ability, splitting the body and brain alive, such a heavy load, few people can bear it. Red-haired Shanks, ha ha ha. Great, Buggy, you are worthy of it, it's amazing. For a while, the whole red-haired pirates were echoing Shanks' laughter. At this moment, he was really happy for Buggy. Bold ideas, extraordinary courage, and more importantly, before doing such an outrageous behavior, Buggy must have pondered in his mind and rehearsed countless times before he dared to let go and do it. Bold and careful, wisdom and perseverance coexist. This is the real Buggy, Pirate King Roger, ha ha ha. Little Buggy did a great job, even I can't think of this idea. Pluto Rayleigh, at Clown Buggy, what are you waiting for? Impel down. Beast hell, under the watchful eyes of countless criminals, Buggy looked ruthless, sat directly on the ground, and slapped his body with both hands. Shattered into pieces, body reassembled. In the prison, Buggy roared, I am also Buggy, I will never be worse than you. Puff. In an instant, Buggy's body disappeared out of thin air and turned into tens of thousands of tiny particles. Chapter 38. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Click, the prison gate opened from the outside, and Magellan, the director of the Impel Down City, walked in. He said seriously, Buggy the Clown, considering your dangerousness, we have decided to imprison you in the infinite hell. Both Buggies were stunned at the same time. Click. The sea stone shackles tightly trapped Buggy's hands, and even his clone was not spared. Captain Buggy. Don't go, Lord Buggy. You can't treat our captain like this. Woohoo, without Captain Buggy, who will take us out? For a while, the criminals burst into tears. Buggy followed Magellan obediently and walked towards the 6th level of infinite hell underground. Until now, his head was buzzing. What does it mean? I just copied the homework, and I was tricked by the parallel Buggy. Bang! The prison door slammed shut, and Buggy finally woke up from his dream, grabbing the railing and crying. I am Buggy the Clown, not parallel Buggy. Let me out, I don't want to stay here, I want to be with my crew. I'm really unfamiliar with that parallel Buggy. Woohoo, I've been tricked. Comparison in progress. In the early morning, Buggy woke up from his dream and began his training. The main body tempered his domineering and beat his body, while the clone kept trying the diversity of the fruit ability, and waited for the domineering to awaken, and then the two merged to create new skills. In the blink of an eye, 3 years later, Buggy left the island by boat and returned to Rogue Town again. It's been 4 years, Captain Roger. Standing on the execution platform, Buggy looked down at the entire Rogue Town. That day, he and Shanks stood below, staring at everything. The past was like smoke, so fast that he couldn't see clearly. Hey! Who told you to stand here? Come down. At this time, a navy saw Buggy on the execution platform and immediately shouted angrily. Oh, Buggy didn't want to argue here, so he jumped down immediately. Just as he was about to leave, he was blocked by a round and straight metal stick. White smoke came out of his mouth. The boy had short silver hair and wore a lapel jacket with the word justice printed on it. The weapon that stopped Buggy was the 10-handed sea stone. I'm already down. Looking at the person coming, Buggy said lightly. Come down. The young smoker held a cigar in his mouth and raised a sneer. Have you obtained the permission of justice? Buggy stopped and looked at the man. Who are you? Navy smoker. The young man spoke in a sonorous and powerful voice. Back then, like you, I also stood here and witnessed Roger's death. Bang! As soon as the young smoker finished speaking, Buggy moved, took 3 steps forward, and appeared in front of Smoker at an extremely fast speed. Since he was a Navy and recognized him, Buggy didn't think that the other party was looking for him to reminisce about the past. Act decisively and seize the initiative. This is what Mr. Rayleigh taught him. Bang! The fist hit the 10 hands hard, and a terrifying scream broke out. Humph! Despicable pirate, I've been on guard against you. The young smoker held his 10 hands in one hand, exerted force, and at the moment when he shook Buggy away, a large cloud of smoke burst out of his left arm. White vine. With a bang, the white mist twisted like a snake pointed directly at Buggy. Buggy slightly turned sideways to avoid it, and the next second, the smoke began to wrap around his body again. A special ability user. Buggy, who had been expressionless from beginning to end, shook slightly. Fractured, peeled off. Swish. The snake-like smoke was instantly torn into several pieces by an invisible force and scattered all over the sky. You! The young smoker was shocked. Just as he was about to continue his attack, a black shadow had already arrived in front of him. The fist with armed color domineering hit Smoker's face directly, and blood splattered immediately. Bang! 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 Then, the chest, lower abdomen, waist, back, attacks from all directions directly knocked Smoker to the ground, and he was unable to recover. Is that all? Buggy looked down at the young smoker coldly. If you want to defeat me, get stronger. Asshole. Damn pirate, I won't let you go. The young smoker was furious and threw the 10 hands with all his strength. This was his last attack. But before it touched Buggy's body, it shattered into slag in midair. Smoker, damn pirate, clown Buggy, I remember I stopped you. Marshal Sengoku, how come Smoker is in Rogue Town? Didn't you just join the Navy and study with Zephyr at the headquarters? Smoker, I don't know either, Marshal. Kaido, this red-nosed kid is something. He can even split the attacks of the ability users. Red-haired Shanks, Buggy is really amazing. Pirate King Roger, ha ha ha. Did you see that? This is the true strength of my trainee of Roger Pirates. Pluto Rayleigh, Buggy's split fruit can split any object that its body touches into pieces, but how did the weapon of the Navy at the end split? 0.9 billion ivory, his body didn't touch it. Sachi, that's right. Whitebeard, Gulala, a bunch of old guys can't even understand this? Look carefully at the shape of the broken Navy weapons. Ben Beckman, well, only the tip is intact and preserved. It should be because of the seastone attached there. Red-haired Shanks, yes, Buggy's body did touch the weapon, but we just can't see it. Pluto Rayleigh, could it be that Buggy, his body split again? At this moment, everyone understood, the body splits and turns into tiny particles, surrounding the body. This also makes the splitting ability that could only be released at close range become remotely controllable. Fuck. This clown Buggy is incredible. Is this an operation that a normal person can think of? For a moment, everyone was shocked. Pushed forward to the city, looking at the live broadcast room, Buggy lowered his head and glanced at the seastone shackles between his hands. I couldn't help but feel sad. I'm so miserable, and you still want to trick me. The live broadcast is still going on. After getting rid of Smoker, Buggy left Rogue Town hastily and headed towards the Grand Line for fear of unnecessary trouble caused by the Navy chasing him. 3 months later. In the tavern in the Kingdom of Alabasta. Boss, a glass of rum and a newspaper. Sitting at the bar, Buggy, who was exhausted from traveling, held the wine glass and opened the newspaper to look at it carefully. As expected of the great pirate era, there are so many newcomers. It seems that it is time for me, Buggy the Clown, to return to the sea. Hey! Have you heard? Recently, a newcomer with super strength has appeared on the sea. At this time, someone was talking next to him. Buggy tilted his ear slightly to listen. I know, red hair Shanks, but he is not a newcomer, Was he famous before? You can say that, after all, he is a trainee on the ship of Pirate King Roger. What? Roger Pirates? This is a big shot. What do you think? By the way, is there a wanted poster for red hair? Here. The man was about to reach out to take it, but with a snap, a big hand snatched the wanted poster away. Oh, a bounty of 1.5 billion Baileys. The bounty of the bastard Shanks has actually increased again. Thinking of his own pitiful bounty of several million, and comparing it with Shanks' 1.5 billion, Buggy was immediately furious, clenching his fists and wishing he could punch Shanks's head. Damn Shanks! I will surpass you sooner or later. Huh. Suddenly, Buggy's face froze, his brows furrowed, and he stared at the wanted poster, the 3 terrible claw marks between Shanks' eyebrows that almost pierced through his left eye. Who did this? Chapter 39. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, even across the screen, people can feel the terrible breath that suddenly erupted from Buggy's body. Pirate King Roger. Ha ha ha. Did you see Shanks? Buggy is so worried about you. Pluto Rayleigh. I have always said that they have a very good relationship. Sage. Is this the legendary Tsundra? Kaido. Ugh, is this a red-nosed imp? This look is good. It has the potential to become a strong man. Big Mom. Momomo just a little imp. Red-haired Shanks. Haha, Buggy, you are so good to me. Clown Buggy. It's parallel Buggy, not me. Red-haired Shanks. Don't pretend, Buggy. Don't I understand you? Clown Buggy. Damn parallel Buggy, Pirate King Roger. But Shanks, who made the claw marks on your face? Blackbeard teach. Ha ha ha, I did it, but it's a pity that I didn't kill red hair back then. Pirate King Roger. Okay. I know. Whitebeard. Gulala at teach, you run like a stray dog. After Ace's matter is over, I will kill you with my own hands. Blackbeard teach. Ha ha ha, Dad, you are old, your time has long passed, now it's my world. Red hair Shanks, really? I believe in Buggy. Blackbeard teach. What do you mean? Shanks smiled mysteriously and didn't answer. The live broadcast is still going on. Alabasta, Tavern. Boom. The terrifying breath is like a raging wave, sweeping the entire tavern, and constantly bursting out of Buggy's body. Asshole. Buggy was furious, staring at the 3 claw marks between Shanks' eyes on the wanted poster. It was just a little bit, and Shanks' left eye would be lost. Who did it? Indistinctly, Buggy felt that the 3 claw marks were very familiar, and he had a guess in his mind, but he couldn't guarantee it. Humph. I will find you sooner or later. After saying that, Buggy rushed out of the door. 3 months later. A certain Navy base. What are you going to do? The Navy soldier looked at the clown who was holding his neck tightly in front of him in horror, and trembled. Are you the one responsible for issuing the wanted poster? Yes. Do you recognize this wanted poster? Buggy grabbed the Navy's neck with one hand and took out Shanks' wanted poster from his arms with the other hand, and asked. Recognize, it's red hair Shanks. The Marine was terrified and quickly admitted. It's good that I recognize him. Buggy patted the Marine's face and smiled strangely. Who injured him? This. I don't know. You don't know? Buggy's eyes suddenly changed. I really don't know. Yes, it was sent by the World Economic News Agency. World Economic News Agency. Buggy let go of the hand that was holding the other's neck and frowned. Where is it? New World. The scene changed, 1 year later. Sir. Although I don't know who you are, my World Economic News Agency is not easy to mess with. The reporter of the World Economic News Agency glanced at Buggy and smiled. I advise you to think more before you take action. Don't get me wrong, I'm just here to ask one thing. Buggy said calmly and took out Shanks' wanted order from his arms. I guess your staff was at the scene when you got the news. It's amazing. I didn't expect you to come here for this report. The reporter looked surprised and nodded. Our staff did see it with their own eyes. Who? Where is he? I have something to ask him. Buggy's tone revealed a hint of urgency. It's me, sir. Is it you? Buggy's eyes widened, and he couldn't wait to ask, who is the guy fighting with red hair? Marshal D. Teach, a member of the second team of the Whitebeard Pirates. Is it him? Buggy's surprised voice came from the room. After Buggy left, the office of the president of the news agency. Is that person gone? Gone. Did you recognize who he is? Bage the Clown, a trainee of Roger's Pirates, along with red-haired Shanks. Humph. With a cold snort, a huge bird face slowly appeared in the darkness. It was the World Economic News, the president of the club, one of the emperors of the underground world, the user of the bird fruit and the albatross form, Morganus. Interesting, after being silent for so many years, he finally came out. Morganus stood up slowly, with fanaticism flashing in his eyes. It seems that we should not only focus on red hair, send someone to follow the clown Buggy immediately. Got it, President. Believe me, big news, ha 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 ha. We will definitely get unexpected big news from him. Red-haired Shanks, at Blackbeard Teach, ha 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 ha, did you see it? Buggy is going to avenge me, Blackbeard Teach, ha. Just him, Teach didn't take Buggy seriously at all. Buggy the Clown, I'll kill you like a dog. Humph. You dare to look down on me. Blackbeard Teach, okay, you're so brave, bastard. I'll tell you where it is, Budge the Clown, Infinite Prison, 6th floor of Impel Down. Come on, I'm waiting for you. Teach's face darkened. This guy is really, you're pretty proud of being put in prison, right? Marshal D. Teach. Budge remembers this guy. He was the first person he thought of when he saw the claw marks. The scene changes to 1 year later. In a tavern in a certain sea area in the New World. The second squad of the Whitebeard Pirates is holding a banquet here. Ha ha ha, as expected of Teach, he is the best in the country. That's right, in my opinion, our second captain must be Teach. After all, compared to us, Teach is an old man. Yeah, this time he made such a great contribution, Dad must make Teach a captain anyway. Hey Teach. I say, can you stop being so honest in the future? You should fight when you need to. In the middle of the crowd, Teach was holding a glass of wine, looking a little embarrassed and nervous, sitting obediently at the bar and listening to the teachings of his companions. At first glance, this person is indeed an honest man. Bang! The door of the tavern was kicked open by someone, and suddenly, the cold wind whistled and the snow and wind came. Where is Teach? Bucky glanced around and shouted angrily, "Get out of here." Chapter 40. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Red-haired Shanks, Baki, you are my lifelong brother, Baki the Clown, go away, stop talking, okay? I'm already so miserable, Marshal Sengoku, at Magellan, you must keep a close eye on Buggy the Clown. Don't let him develop the ability of the fruit. You must strangle it in the cradle, Director Magellan, don't worry, Marshal. I'll add another pair of shackles to him right away, Baki the Clown. Are you still human in the Navy? I'm just a little pirate with a bounty of 15 million Baileys. Do you want to do this? Parallel Buggy is showing off all over the world, but I am being targeted by the whole world. The live broadcast is still going on. In an instant, the entire tavern was dead silent, and countless sharp eyes like blades were all aimed at Buggy at the door. Hey, who is this kid? How dare he tell Brother Teach to get out? You're really not afraid of death? Another ridiculous newcomer? Trying to challenge Brother Teach to become famous? Childish idea. Bang! As he spoke, a tall man stepped forward quickly, raised his huge fist and smashed at Buggy. Die, kid! Puff, the sharp blade instantly pierced the man's throat, and blood spurted like a fountain. Buggy had a blank expression on his face and stared at everyone coldly. I advise you to be quiet, I only want to kill Teach today. Asshole, you dare to kill. Puff, another pirate who attacked Buggy, had his neck cut alive. What a weird method, what a cruel method. For a moment, everyone was frightened, and the eyes looking at Buggy began to become fearful. Ha ha ha, I thought it was someone else. A familiar laugh rang out in the middle of the crowd. It was Teach. It turned out to be you, the red-nosed kid. Teach. Buggy's eyes suddenly became solemn, and he said in a deep voice, the claw marks on Shanks' face were done by you. Shanks. Oh, you mean red hair. Teach grinned and laughed. That bastard, he actually dared to go against me. I didn't kill him and it was considered mercy. It's good that you admit it. Buggy glanced at the other party, his eyes full of murderous intent. Let's go and talk. Ha ha ha. Teach was not afraid at all, and stood up with a big laugh. Today is really interesting, the red-nosed kid is actually arrogant. The two walked out of the tavern one after the other. Come on, brother Teach, kill this red-nosed brat. Humph. How ridiculous. Do you think anyone can mess with brother Teach? Kill him. You're bullying an honest man like Teach. We must teach him a lesson. Everyone rushed out of the tavern, only to see Buggy and Teach swaying and looking at each other in the snow. Ha ha ha. Red-nosed brat, by the way, what's your name? Buggy. Remember, the one who killed you is called Buggy. Upon hearing this, Teach's face suddenly changed, and he frowned and said, it's normal for pirates to have casualties on both sides. Even though our Whitebeard pirates and your Roger pirates fought fiercely, once the battle was over, didn't we sit down and drink and joke? That's different. Buggy shook his head coldly, his eyes like torches. Today you must die. Heh, what a big tone, do you really think you are my opponent? As for Buggy, Teach didn't care much. Back then, he saw that the red-nosed brat was average in strength, but he was not weak in talking, and he was not his opponent at all. The reason he was trying to persuade him was because the cherry pie he had been thinking about was about to be cooked, and he didn't want to delay the delicious food for an irrelevant person. However, since this kid is so ungrateful, no one else can be blamed. Bang! As soon as the two finished speaking, they attacked together. Click, 6 blades collided fiercely, sparks flew, and Teach secretly stretched out his left hand, with a sharp cold light flashing, and stabbed towards Buggy's waist. Swish, the sound of the blade cutting through flesh and blood, accompanied by Teach's painful screams. Buggy gently waved his right arm, calling back the 3 knives that chopped Teach's right arm, and the next second, Buggy shot out, kicked Teach in the waist, and then used all his strength to press Teach to the ground. The blade pointed directly at the other's eyes, as if it was going to stab in the next moment. Asshole! Are you looking down on me? Between life and death, the completely enraged Teach shook his body, and his brute force actually sent Buggy flying. Really? In midair, Buggy smiled and hooked his fingers. 3 blades instantly shot out from Teach's back, pierced through him, and came in front of Buggy. Puff, large mouthfuls of blood spurted out of Teach's mouth. The 3 blood holes were like plum blossoms blooming under the wind and snow, which was chilling. What kind of ability is this? Teach stared at Buggy, unwilling to accept it. With his strength, he didn't even notice it. He didn't even know when the 3 knives were hiding behind him. The dead don't need to know. Knowing that this method was not enough to kill the opponent, Buggy took advantage of the victory and punched Teach's chest that was pierced by the blade. Thief, ha ha ha, dead man. Just you. Teach laughed wildly, jumped up suddenly, and the black-armed color domineering covered his chest. At the same time, the knife shining with a dark luster stabbed towards Buggy. Puff. In an instant, Buggy's body split and turned into countless tiny particles and disappeared on the spot. Damn! What kind of ability is this? Teach, who missed the attack, was furious and looked for Buggy's figure all over the world. Teach, be careful. Someone shouted. Teach immediately understood, chopped down with a backhand knife, and roared, "Here, bastard. Sorry, you guessed wrong." Buggy's voice sounded right in front of him. No. His heart trembled violently. Knowing that he had guessed wrong, Teach turned around like crazy with all his strength, holding the blade across his chest, trying to block Buggy's attack. Puff. The black blade passed through his lower abdomen, splashing a large amount of blood. Teach looked at Buggy in disbelief, with only a head floating in the air, and said with difficulty, "You." The next moment, he seemed to understand something and turned around stiffly. A headless body holding two knife handles tightly was standing silently behind him. Split. Teach muttered to himself, his eyes turned blood red. The body slowly fell to the ground. Looking at the white sky, Teach couldn't help but widen his eyes. "I am going to die. No, this is not true. I am Marshal Teach. The man who will dominate the sea in the future. Now I have to stop here. The past scenes reflected in my mind, free and lonely, bullied, witnessing rivers of blood, homeless. No. I don't believe it. Boom. In an instant, the terrifying air wave was like a tsunami, and it continued to burst out of Teach's body in his unwilling roar. At this moment, the sky and the earth changed color.